Honorable Speakers of this august House, Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Deputy Prime Ministers, Honorable Cabinet Ministers, Honorable Leaders of the Opposition, Honorable Members of Parliament, members of the public, viewing from various media platforms, very good morning to you all. Honorable Mr. Speaker, sir, allow me to start with a Bible verse. Ephesians 5:17. Therefore, do not continue in ignorance, but try to understand what is the will of the Lord. I express with humble gratitude this morning to Almighty God for the divine guidance of our nations till now. This is especially when today marks the beginning of our Lenten season, time of fasting, prayers, and thanksgiving. I wish to pay the home of these traditional owners of the land of which we stand. Paying our utmost respect to the chief, as well as the community leaders and members of this Vanua of Nandormai, in carrying the Vanua of Fiji. Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to also join my fellow parliamentarians in sharing a similar sentiments, honoring the President's Ratu Nengamalalamalau and supporting this call, especially for a shared vision that is centered on progress, prosperity, and unity. This vision is so important for our nations. We are all constantly faced with adversities. Congratulations as well to the Speaker of Parliament. Your Excellency, it is a great honor to deliver my maiden speech to this respected august House. I acknowledge the trust placed in me by the coalition government, and I commit myself to serving our nation's future, which is our children. Mr. Speaker, sir, if you will indulge me, I wish to say that I have the absolute privilege to stand before you today as Assistant Minister for Education, all the way from Welebu in the Kaunrobe. I'm greatly indebted to my family, my wife, children and grandchildren of always being the pillar of my strength and motivation. To the families and friends of the Vanua Welebu in the son of the Kaunrobe for unwavering support in shaping a better politician, I have come this far to this august House. Mr. Speaker, sir, I also wish to commend and congratulate leaders of the helm of the Ministry of Education, Honorable Aseri Masibo Randronro, for his foresightness in affecting educational development. His leadership has been accelerated progress that champions innovations and productivity. Mr. Speaker, sir, I would fall in my duty if I do not acknowledge the tireless effort of our stakeholders, teachers, students, and parents who have journeyed in good faith to ensure that we are driven towards common educational goals. Mr. Speaker, sir, a life in education is not just one of many journeys. We will have the ultimate goal of providing access to quality education for all our children and our nations, but our journey to accomplishing these goals is made up of various experiences and a smaller journey as we move along. Mr. Speaker, sir, education is not just a sector. It is the bedrock of our society and catalyst for sustainable development. The UN Sustainable Development Goals 4 aims to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education for all, and we are in Fiji are dedicated in making this goal a reality. Mr. Speaker, sir, so much value has been added to our educational goals through pivotal changes, one of which is the current review of our Education Act and legislation, as alluded to by His Excellency the President. In reality, Our education system has evolved rapidly, but our policies and legislations are still the same or simple, put outdated. The review of the Education Act and legislation will ensure that we meet modern demands, align with international best practices, and set to address emerging challenges ahead of us. Mr. Speaker, sir, the 2024 General Declaration, the Fiji National Education Policy Framework 2024-2033 provides a comprehensive roadmap for educational reform, emphasizing equity, inclusivity, digital transformation, and sustainability. This associates substantial reforms that would empower Fijians, strengthen national development, and secure a country's future in this global economy. Mr. Speaker, sir, our goal as the Ministry of Education is to ensure that every child has access to education. Education is the cornerstone of personal and community development. It equips individuals with necessary knowledge, skills, and values to lead productive and fulfilling lives. Furthermore, Mr. Speaker, sir, it plays a pivotal role in breaking the cycle of poverty and reducing inequalities in our society here in Fiji. First, Mr. Speaker, sir, we must achieve equitable education to ensure every child, regardless of their background or geographical location, has access to quality education. This includes increasing investment in rural schools and providing additional resources for disadvantaged community here in our beloved Fiji. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Ministry has worked at institutionalizing additional primary and secondary school, especially in the rural and maritime areas, where education can be accessed by the children and the community of Fiji. Mr. Speaker, sir, when every individual has access to higher quality education, it leads to high economic productivity, improved health outcomes, and increased social connection. 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, Mr. Speaker, sir, sets the United Nations to acknowledge the transformative powers of education by including quality education, SDG 4, on one of its goals. The goal emphasizes the need to ensure that inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunity for all. However, Mr. Speaker, sir, achieving this ambitious objective requires addressing the barrier that hinders access to quality education in Fiji. These barriers are human-related, socioeconomic, or financial constraints. Mr. Speaker, sir, instead of leaving rural communities stuck in the past, we are steadily expanding the network of high-quality education facilities across hundreds of rural communities across our beloved countries. A number of new schools and infrastructure development for most schools have been accessibility to education as a reality. Mr. Speaker, sir, whether the young person comes up in the heart of Suva or from Wailebu, they will attend classes in a modern, functional facility. They will have access to the newest technologies and curriculum, and they will be instructed by passionate, eligible, and qualified teachers who are compensated fairly and who lives with the security of higher quality housing. Mr. Speaker, sir, we heard the review of the National Curriculum Framework and changes to the curriculum and assessment at various levels of education. Early interest in the curriculum renewal in Fiji was associated with concern about the national identity and consciousness at the time of political independence back in 1970. Mr. Speaker, sir, the major educational issue during that period was the lack of relevant curriculum the examination to replace overseas examination and curriculum that has dominated the colonial examination system. Today, Mr. Speaker, sir, change to the curriculum are guided by global commitments. Change in the expectation of the students, society, and the job market, and that the current curriculum is overcrowded, too difficult, examination and teacher-centered. The review of the curriculum will ensure that content is tailor-made to suit the demand of the society and equips students with lifelong skill learning. Some of the reforms include the introduction of financial literacy education, citizen education as a subject, and the involvement of vocational studies in schools for less academically inclined. Mr. Speaker, sir, I cannot emphasize enough, Mr. Speaker, sir, that our curriculum must evolve to equip our students with skills necessary for the 21st century that we are in. This means integrating technology, promoting STEMs, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, education, and ensuring our students are prepared for these global challenges ahead of us. Mr. Speaker, sir, the digitalization of education is also given priority, with schools installing digital tools and embedding them in their core deliveries of teaching and learning around Fiji. Mr. Speaker, sir, we have also heard in the very august House the changes in assessment tools, especially at secondary level, to ensure that students get used to the modes of learning at tertiary level, which we are in here today. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Ministry, through streamlining its human resources processes, will ensure adequate staffing in school. Teacher shortage, however, is a stark reality and constitutes a crisis with profound implications for Fiji's education system. Teachers are the core of any education system. Mr. Speaker, sir, developing and producing quality teachers are at the heart of our education system. Raising professional development opportunities and support for teachers to enhance the quality of education and promote a culture of lifelong learning, hiring and training new and already established teachers is functional to protecting children's ability to learn in all our schools. Mr. Speaker, sir, as professionals with expertise in education, teachers are uniquely positioned to understand the challenges facing the profession and contribute to reform that empower them and enable them to excel in their roles. The innovation introduced by educators during the pandemic illustrate their capacity of forward-thinking solution, yet many systems have reverted to outdated norms. Instead of capitalizing on this creativity, moving forward, Mr. Speaker, sir, we must engage in meaningful partnership with teachers and their unions, addressing not only pay and working conditions, but also the fundamental issue of equity, curriculum design, and system reform. Mr. Speaker, sir, the issue of school dropout is a significant concern. The education as it impacts individuals and society as a whole. Research identifies several factors associated with the increase in dropout rates, including socioeconomic status, family dynamic, and school environment. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Ministry of Education, together with stakeholders, are combating the rising dropout rates through several interventions, including early intervention programs that focus on risk students. The increasing rate of school dropout is a multifaceted issue requiring a comprehensive approach involving policy changes, community supports, and targeted intervention. Addressing this challenge is crucial to ensure that all students have the opportunity to succeed academically and beyond, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, in the word of Wilson's 1998, education is not about repairing all social evils. It's about repairing one, the evil of ignorance. We have all responsibility as adults for these evils. The education system can, of course, influence positive behavior. The way to do it through the development of knowledge and skills, cultivation of value in our students. Mr. Speaker, sir, the fact is that schools have its own power to improve students' knowledge, skills, and to encourage the development of defensive values that would prevent the social ill, such as drugs, sex, and abuse at various schools, should be held accountable if students do not gain essential knowledge and skills regarding health, cannot articulate values in this position. Mr. Speaker, sir, education should foster critical thinking, empower individuals, and can break the cycle of poverty. Education is a shared responsibility, Mr. Speaker, sir. Engaging parents, communities in the educational process will create a supportive environment for all our students. I envision stronger partnership with locals and international organizations to enrich our education system here today. In closing, Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to express my heartfelt appreciation to all educators, parents, students, and faith-based institutions who strive for excellence in learning every day. The agenda is ambitious, the task is daunting, and the path will not be easy. However, Mr. Speaker, sir, and my fellow parliamentarians, I am confident we will successfully transverse this path, and we will do it. Let us remember the word of Noam Chomsky. There are no magic answers. There are no malicious methods to overcome the problem we face. Just the familiar ones: honest, search for understanding, education, organization, action, and other kind of commitment that persists despite the temptation of disillusion, despite many failures, and not limited success, inspired by the hope of the brighter future of our education system. Mr. Speaker, sir, thank you very much for the opportunity. I support the motion before the August House. May God bless us all. Gracias.